"Get out and never come back," my father's voice thundered through the hallway. My mother stood behind him, arms crossed, her face cold and unyielding. I wanted to argue, to explain, but my throat locked up. So I picked up my small bag and walked out without a word. The door slammed behind me, cutting off the last thread of home. The night air was sharp, biting against my skin as I walked aimlessly down the street. I didn't know where I was going, only that I had nowhere left to belong. For weeks I moved from couch to couch, staying with acquaintances. I picked up odd jobs, washing dishes, cleaning offices, delivering packages. Every dollar I earned was stretched thin, just enough to eat and find a bed. I thought about calling my parents countless times, but pride stopped me. They had made their choice, and I refused to beg for love. 3 months passed like a blur of exhaustion and loneliness. Then one evening, as I walked out of a diner, my phone buzzed. It was a text message from my father. "Son, we need you, please come home immediately." My heart stopped as I stared at the glowing screen. I didn't know if it was a trick, a test, or a genuine plea. Against my better judgment, I boarded the next bus back to town. The streets looked the same, but felt different, colder, harsher. When I stepped onto the porch, the door opened before I could knock. My father stood there, his face pale, his eyes sunken with worry. Behind him, my mother clutched a handkerchief, her hands trembling. "What's going on?" I asked, cautiously bracing myself for another blow. "It's your sister," he whispered. "She's gone missing." My chest tightened, a mixture of anger and concern flooding me. "Why would you call me after throwing me out?" I demanded. "Because," he said, his voice cracking, "you're the only one she trusts." Despite everything, I felt my resolve crumble at those words. We sat at the kitchen table, going over the details of her disappearance. She had run away after a fight with them, leaving only a note. I remembered the way she used to confide in me when no one else listened. If she was scared or lost, maybe she would reach out to me somehow. I checked my old email accounts, scrolling through unread messages. Sure enough, there was one from her sent 2 nights earlier. "Big brother, I don't know where to go. I'm scared. Please help me." Tears blurred my vision as I showed the message to our parents. Their faces broke with guilt, realizing they had pushed away the very link to her safety. I traced the email to a nearby library, and we rushed there immediately. After hours of searching, we found her curled up in the corner, terrified and exhausted. She threw herself into my arms, sobbing uncontrollably. "You came," she whispered. "I knew you would." I held her close, promising I would never let her go again. My parents watched silently, their faces etched with regret and shame. Back at the house, they apologized through tears, admitting their mistakes. I listened, but the wound inside me was deep and raw. Still, I stayed for my sister's sake. She needed stability and love. Over the weeks, our bond grew stronger while my parents tried to rebuild trust. Sometimes forgiveness takes years, sometimes it never fully comes. But that night, I realized something important. Even when family pushes you away, love can still find a way back. And sometimes the one they cast aside is the one who saves them all.